Welcome to Beginners Unite, a beginning quilting series from Patterns by Jen. In this short video, I will show you how to square up your fabric to get a nice straight cut. I've already ironed my fabric. I do like to use starch on my fabric, but that is just a personal preference. In order to start your cutting with a good straight cut, we need to first line up our selvages. We do not want our selvages to have an edge like this where it isn't straight, where the edges don't line up. So we're going to take our fabric, and with your fingers on the selvage side, you're going to slide the fabric back and forth until those edges become nice and straight. Once we have that, then we're going to lay it on our cutting mat and get our first cut. Once we've aligned our selvage edges, we are going to line up our fold along one of our lines on our cutting mat. This is the only time I use the lines on my mat when I'm cutting my fabric. We're going to get it straightened here along the entire piece. You want the entire piece to be matched up along that line. Okay, once we have that, we're going to take our ruler and we are going to take a moment to check where our fabric lines up. You can see that this underside is a little shorter than the top side. So we're going to make sure that we are trimming off enough that we've taken that into account. We're trimming that off to get a nice straight edge. In this instance, I'm going to use just our number 3-inch line and lining up my ruler. I'm going to just line it up so you can just kind of see a little bit of the yellow line on either side. And just make that quick. Pull that off. And then when I am cutting my strips, I line up my ruler. I do not use the mat, I use the lines on my ruler. And I'm going to line up my ruler so that you can just see it's actually sitting on top of the fabric. It's not over on the edge, so it's on the mat. It's actually on the fabric before I make that cut. And that way I know for sure, just those few fibers in your fabric will make a difference on your accuracy when you're cutting. So again, I've cut my 2.5 inch. I like to leave that in place so I'm not moving too much fabric, but I'll remove it and just show one more time how, again, I'm just going to line up the line on my ruler, not using the lines on my mat, just the line on my ruler, making sure it sits on the fabric, and make that cut. Once I have finished cutting the strips, I will trim off the selvage and subcut the pieces to the sizes specified in the pattern I'm following. I hope this short video helps you towards more accurate cutting. Happy stitching!